Welcome to Oz Talk!
Welcome!
You sounded so Galindified in that opening.
Let us be glad, let us be grateful. Let's do it.
Well, don't stop, honey. Don't stop. It's so good. I mean, how many times have you watched the movie at home now?
Okay, somebody asked me this on TikTok earlier, and to be honest, I stopped counting after like 10 or 15. So, and I should tell you, when my daughter is home, it is on a constant loop. She is also watching it. So it's been on pretty much constantly since it came out.
Same. I mean, it's so comforting, and I'm still noticing new things, and I haven't yet started actually keeping a log in a future Oz Talk very soon. Actually, hopefully, excuse me, in the coming weeks, we're going to do our Oz Historian deep dive into all of the Easter eggs. They're incalculable.
There's a ton. I mean, every single time I watch it, I notice something different, much like The Wizard of Oz.
Exactly. And even, when we listen to the audio commentary track, there are Easter eggs that aren't even visible. They're kind of like below the surface that are just kind of, but what that all adds up to is why Wicked is the box office success that it is, which is truly the best award in the world, because it's great. It helps careers to win awards, whether it's Oscars, Golden Globes, Critics' Choice Awards, and it's a reason to celebrate and recognize excellence in film and television. But honestly, the best award you can give to any work of art is delivering audience and mass and celebration and attention, really. And so the reason that I think that Wicked is receiving that and has broken all these great box office records is because of that attention to detail, not just the Easter eggs, but because sometimes you'll have a director who cares and puts 110% into the film being made, and there might be some conflicts below the line or with performers. But I feel like these films in particular, everyone cared so deeply, and is evidenced more and more in every interview that everyone gives, whether it's Frances Hannon, makeup and hair designer, or Paul Tazwell, costume designer, or John, the cast. They all care as much as we would care as if we were making a Wicked movie, right?
I really do feel like this was a labor of love from top to bottom. Everybody involved that I've spoken to has said that everyone felt like number one on the call sheet. John Chu set the tone very early on to be very inclusive. Everyone was treated like they were important, and everyone wanted to make this as real as humanly possible, which is why they decided to build all of the sets. They could have gone CGI. They could have rendered all of these things after the fact, which of course affects the performances that happen, in real time. They really decided to just put all into this, and it really shows. And you're right, the audience accolades have been pouring in. Critics and audiences alike love this movie. So regardless, I mean, some of the best films in history don't win awards. So Wicked, whether it wins all of the awards this season or not, is a winner to me. And I feel like as an Oz fandom, we are all winning right now.
Right. And even if we look at because I was watching the Golden Globes, I don't know if you watched any of the other nominated films. Okay. And I don't know if you watched all the nominated films in the categories. Have you seen many of them?
No, I've seen clips of a lot of them, but you know me. If Judy Garland isn't in it, if it's not Wicked related, I'm probably not watching it.
I'm burning my tongue. But I mean, well, it's also my job to watch all the films since I nominate I'm one of the critics in the Critics' Choice Association. So I nominate for that awards show for film categories, and I vote for both film and television categories because I review film and television. And out of the 14 eligible categories that Wicked was submitted for, they received 11 nominations at the Critics' Choice Awards, which airs this Sunday, January 12th on E! For the first time. So let's take a look at some of what we're seeing here, because it's so great. And again, this is I think the best award to win, cinematic and box office achievement. I mean, cinematic achievement, it's like a best picture win, but it's also saying that it's the most popular movie of the year.
Yes, and what this says is that audiences loved it, went back and rewatched it. And in the 1 month that Wicked was out in theaters from the beginning to end, it achieved the highest grossing musical adaptation on film in history, beating out Mamma Mia. So, I mean, no matter which way you slice it, the audiences, the fans loved it. And Wicked is garnering new fans for the Oz fandom, which is just a win-win-win all around.
It's true. Let's talk about that for a second, because do you think, as we look at, Wicked, we've talked about this before, but as a new generation of fans are discovering Wicked and then going to The Wizard of Oz, there's that part of us as Oz loyalists, as Oz purists, where we can look at it and say, wait a minute, if you're seeing The Wizard of Oz second and thinking that the Wicked Witch of the West's name is Elphaba, you're wrong. It's very much this multiverse, right? So when you watch The Wizard of Oz, you want to watch, but that used to irk me. And now I just love Wicked so much, I don't mind it if that's the way that fans are going to interpret things.
I don't think there's a wrong way to get new fans involved in the Oz fandom. If somebody watches the 1939 film for the first time because of Wicked, that's a win. Yes. And because it's a film that deserves to be cherished. And if somebody picks up L. Frank Baum's books because they saw Wicked and wanted to know more, that's a win. These books deserve to be known and cherished. So I don't think there's a wrong way to be a fan. And I've had plenty of people, go back and say, well, wait, if overlaying Wicked on The Wizard of Oz and interpreting that through the lens of Wicked. And it's okay. You know what? It's okay. I see Wicked differently because I've been an Oz fan all my life. And I know we're so used to compartmentalizing our Oz canon because there's so many branches of it. But if somebody new is coming in and is watching The Wizard of Oz through the lens of Wicked, that's okay with me. There's no wrong way to love Oz.
Right. Do you think that that Wicked fans will become all things Oz fans, or do you think that they will just stick to Wicked and maybe enjoy The Wizard of Oz, maybe or maybe not go back? I feel like we're seeing Gregory Maguire's novel, upon which the Wicked musical is adapted from, hit the bestsellers list again, which is amazing. It's sure to happen again this fall, this November, when Wicked for Good comes out. But what do you think about that? Do you think it's going to create all things Oz fans?
I think it will create a few. I don't think everyone who's an avid Wicked fan will go deeper, but there will be a few, and that's a win. Considering that our fandom is 120, going on 125 years old this year.
Yeah.
It's something that will fade with time if new fans don't come in. So whatever way they come, I am in. And, those of us who came to it through the 1939 film, there were people when the film came out who were like, well, I read the books, so there's always going to be a generation that says, well, your interpretation is wrong. Mine's the classic. But I really believe that if the fandom is going to survive long term, we need to keep reimagining and reinventing it. And Wicked is just another version of that.
It's true. The Wizard of Oz, is our favorite movie, and it has always been my favorite movie. And when you look at it in comparison and adaptation from page to screen, it's one of the most egregiously adapted in changes. But you have to say the same is true from page to stage with Wicked, and then even from stage to screen, and all that's added and all that's new and all that's so filled out visually. And speaking of visually, let's get back to some of these nominations here. Because first of all, our Wicked crew looked so gorgeous at the Globes. I love this happy win and seeing those statuettes for them. These are the 14 categories that Wicked was submitted for consideration. which is great. And these are the 11 categories that it received, equal to the 11, I mean, in different categories, but also receiving 11 nominations at the Critics' Choice Awards is Conclave, which is another great film of the year.
Regardless of what awards it wins or does not win, what matters is the legacy it will leave behind. You know, there are some films that win tons of awards and that are never spoken of again. And you forget about it until you go back and review the winners and you go, oh yeah, I forgot about that movie.
Well,
I mean,
it's true. It's true. I mean, look at how, Gone with the Wind beat The Wizard of Oz, but we'd say that The Wizard of Oz has much more staying power and cultural impact. Or Avenue Q beat Wicked for the Tony Award Best Musical. But again, Wicked is still the winner in legacy and cultural impact.
100%.
Can I share with you my voting ballot?
Yes, of course.
The power 11 votes for Wicked. I voted in every category I could for Wicked. I would have voted for 11 categories had it been nominated. I certainly wrote it in 11 categories when I submitted my nominating ballot, but I was so proud to vote these 11 votes. I'm not sharing my full ballots and my TV votes, but I'm very proud. I mean, and you had to guess that all 11 of my votes went to Wicked, right?
I am not surprised by this in the least. I would have been disappointed in you if there was any other, if you voted against Wicked in any category.
Could you imagine in like any category where I was like, oh, that film? No.
No, I cannot imagine that.
Yes. Hair, makeup, costuming, we see from design to reality what Paul Tazwell and Frances Hannon created. And hearing them talk, you and Tiffany Sutton, Follow the Yellow Brick Girl, did a lovely interview with them. I got the chance to speak with them too. And they are the coolest people and just, again, made iconic imagery here.
Iconic imagery that still fits so beautifully into the greater Oz canon because they paid homage while also bringing their own flavor, which is really difficult because these are characters that are so well known to us in pop culture. And they put their own original stamp on it, but it also fits seamlessly in with all of the other dozens of films that exist in the Oz fandom. So all of the rounds of applause for all of the cast and creatives. They may have a Lord of the Rings situation here where people wait to vote for Wicked until the second film is out. I
think as great as part one is, I think Wicked for Good is going to be even better because it's going to tie so much more to The Wizard of Oz. First of all, Tori, have we talked about how I think there was a leak that Mattel is going to be releasing a Dorothy doll?
So I would caution everyone when you hear about these leaks to remember that even if that was true, everything is subject to change. So that's not a guarantee. However, would I be thrillified if we got brand new Mattel versions of the Scarecrow, Tin Man, Lion, and Dorothy in Mattel form for Wicked? I would.
Yeah, that would be
not ready. My bank account is not ready.
I mean, that would be. Let's just say, Mattel, you would be ridiculously missing out to not release those for figures or dolls for us because those would sell so fast, regardless of what misprints are in the packaging. It would just go so well, and I love that. But I'm just excited to the thought of because there's the notion of whether or not we're going to see Dorothy's face. They're going to reveal what she actually looks like? How much screen time does she get? Does she have any lines? Do we just see her kind of like how we see adults in the Peanuts, where it's like, wah, 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 and with just from like the calves down or from behind, right? So it will be very interesting to see, but that would be great to get some merch, the Fab Five, including their Toto.
I would not be against not seeing Dorothy's face because it's not her story.
Right.
But yes, Wicked for Good basically runs almost completely parallel to the events of The Wizard of Oz. They're happening simultaneously. And so I think they'd be fools not to lean in a little bit to that for marketing. Like, yes, bring us some traditional Oz imagery. We love it. We're here for it. I think it would be a great idea. And spoiler alert, can I do a quick spoiler-ish thing? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to talk about a very sensitive moment in Wicked for Good. Please plug your ears if you do not want to hear about it. Wouldn't it be awesome to have transforming dolls like we had in the 90s? Do you remember the Beauty and the Beast dolls that would transform from like the Beast to the Prince? Can we please, Mattel, please?
Yes, that would be sick. Amazing. I mean, yeah.
All right, spoilers done.
Great. Yeah. Well done and amazing. Please. I mean, all of the merch. I mean, it was such a rush of all the merch here, and looking for all the Easter eggs, and so doing it all again you know, because it's not like, I mean, it would be such a miss if suddenly there were no Easter eggs in part 2. But one thing I am hoping that they release with part 2 a comprehensive The Art of Wicked, the film book, because I want to see some of these designs close up. Like we heard Cynthia Erivo state that in the pajamas Elphaba wears during What Is This Feeling, there are Totos within the costume, and I couldn't find it no matter how many times I fast forwarded and zoomed in. So
I've not been able to spot them. I feel like they must be tucked either in the back somewhere, or it must be like really subtly done in the embroidery on the front. I can't make it out.
Or it could be like just textured like within the white on white of the cloth, so it's like we're not really even seeing it embossed or something. Yeah, so we need to, I want to see all this, especially if they're not revealing a lot of the Easter eggs in it. They're leaving it to us. Ariana Grande is leaving it to you, Tori. She gave you the actual shout out during the audio commentary. Let's just give that a moment. That is, I think, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
It was a shock because I woke up early that morning and started getting messages like, oh my gosh, if you watch the commentary, you should watch it. And within the first few minutes, Ariana Grande directed everyone to go watch the Oz vlog. She'll be talking about all the Easter eggs, which was so unreal, surreal, delightful, and just kind of her. She didn't have to do that. That was really, really nice.
But it's great because you are at present the greatest resource for all things Oz in terms of context and history, and whether it's merch, story, and you're covering it all. I'm so proud of you. And that, hearing that for all times there is such, I hope it is a great achievement from my perspective. And so I hope you're feeling it, and it just tuck it away for the rainy days if you ever have them in the future. And just, you can always play that and be like, that is such a huge, amazing thing. I'm so thrilled for you, honey.
Well, I owe so much of that to you as my mentor, and to the people who tune in and watch us and watch, my platforms, because without all of you guys, this would not have happened. So the feeling that came to mind immediately was gratitude.
It's
and gratitude also for how lovely everyone involved with Wicked has been in terms of involving fans in the process.
Yes.
Because this is such a unique experience in terms of how Wicked has reached out to the Oz fandom, which no other Oz film in recent memory has done. So thank you to everyone.
And debunking. Emma's saying you're also the leader in debunking. We're also proud of you.
Things to do.
Yeah, your fans weighing in here. It's just wonderful. And as Glinda says, it's great. One of my favorite.
This is something Rosa and I see to each other on a near daily basis.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's the kind of like, do you ever see the movie Spirited, which is my favorite Christmas film, where they're like, good afternoon, and it's like almost like an insult. It's great. Can go either way now. It's kind of like, is it great? Okay, no, it is great. Okay, Nathan Crowley here as a production designer is just the man. I just hope all of these people win. John M. Chu, Best Director, please. I mean,
so deserved. His speech at the Golden Globes was amazing.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true. All right, let's move forward to, we've got Wizard of Oz on Ice coming up. Or why don't we, before we get to that, yes, John Chu's speech was amazing, and let's predict Oscars. Because what I wanted to say was that Golden Globes are not the best predictor of what's going to win the Oscars. Statistically and historically, the Critics' Choice Awards are the most accurate predictor of who will be nominated and who will win Oscars. So it bodes very well for Wicked with the 11 nominations. We will see this Sunday. I will be in attendance to see what Wicked picks up. And I think that while we saw Amelia Perez do very well at the Golden Globes, the voting body of the Hollywood Foreign Press for the Globes is incredibly different than what we see nominating and voting at the Critics' Choice Awards and the Oscars and other awards associations. So that's just my little insider's tip there.
Yes, and it's a very small voting pool for the Globes compared to the Oscars. We'll see. I was baffled a little bit by some of the choices at the Globes, but I don't want to take away from any of the winners, but let's face it. We know who deserved it.
Oh yeah, we know who. Yeah, done. We know where our votes lie. I know. Before you can all look for my reviews of those other nominated films if you want to. They're all online at ryanjreviews.com to see.
You should be following at Ryan J Reviews.
Thank you. And at the Oz vlog. Okay, let's talk about the Wizard of Oz on Ice. Have you seen this trailer?
Yes, I have.
Let's take a quick look at it. WizardofOzOnIce.com to look for tour locations and tickets. I've been in touch with the producer, Tori. Hopefully will be joining us soon on Oz Talk to talk about the creative process. It looks quite different. It's going to theaters instead of actual ice arenas.
Yes, that's one of the things that baffled me about it, because I saw a location that I know and I was like, that is decidedly not an ice rink. So I suppose they're going to move in blocks that they can skate on and put them on stages, which will probably cut back on production costs and will, because it takes a lot to fill an arena, an ice arena. So
that's true.
Now, is this an officially licensed Wizard of Oz 1939 Wizard of Oz production, or is this an adaptation of the book on ice?
That's a good question. That is a good question we'll have to ask. And because we didn't hear any of the music from 1939.
But I couldn't see any Ruby skates. I was looking and I couldn't make them out. So
right.
I might have missed it, but we'll see. I'm very curious because the Wizard of Oz on Ice holds such a warm place, ironically, in my heart. And it had some of the best collectible merch ever.
Oh, it's so true. It's so true. And this new show has some merch as well. But you're right. The Bobby McFerrin tour that was the 90s was just absolutely exquisite and created a TV special and a new soundtrack that was incredible. And the costumes, which I actually saw, are still touring and being licensed and used across the country for different Wizard of Oz productions. I saw one locally here that was amazing. And yeah, that is classic. But I think this will be fun. It looks like a lot of dance. I love figure skating. I'm very anxious to see it. I'll be seeing it next month locally here. And I guess they bring in sort of like a faux ice that they can actually skate upon on a stage, which is kind of seems innovative as well. So yeah, we'll have to keep everyone posted. Speaking of merch, someone is shouting out your earrings. Tori, tell us about your earrings.
So these are Elphaba's Infinity Glasses earrings, and Mark Ross Jewelry made these for me. I'm going to have a spot all about his Wicked collection coming up soon. I love them. I think they're so cool. They're such an eye catch, and they look so nice with my shiz sweater.
They sure do. They're absolutely beautiful. And I know you've got some great, you've been working in collaboration with Noble Collection. I want to thank them too. They did a wonderful 25 days of giveaways for the holidays, and I entered, and on a whim, I won the Glinda set. Thank you so much. And they're going to be sending me so I got Glindified. Thank you so much to Noble Collection. NobleCollection.com is fantastic. And
I love the Noble Collection. They're incredible. Their pieces are beautiful. And we got the dress up, like cosplay versions this for 2024 for Wicked for Good. We are getting full blown replicas, which they're known for. Their Harry Potter replicas are, very well known. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And I got to see a prototype of a full-sized Elphaba broom when I was at New York Comic Con. They let me hold it. Whether or not that will be produced, we're not sure, but I really hope it is because I'll be first in line.
Yes. How heavy was it?
It was not heavy because it was 3D printed and it was light as a feather.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's really cool. That's
just very tall. It was taller than me.
Yeah, I'm excited for more of it. And I love that, we'll be seeing what merch evolves and comes out throughout the year, or is it going to wait to all drop kind of again? I hope Paul Tazwell does another collection for Target. Just, give us more, keep filling out our closets. But yeah, Noble Collection is fantastic. They have, in addition to the Lion Cub and Chistery plush, they have a Dulcibert and a Dillamond, Dr. Dillamond coming out, I think this spring. So those look really cute and lots going on. What's on your bookshelf, Tori?
Well, what's on my bookshelf right now is this new book all about Margaret Hamilton. Margaret Hamilton, from Cleveland, Ohio to the land of Oz. I am loving reading more about Maggie, the original Wicked Witch of the West. And I was so excited to receive this book. And I saw some familiar names in the foreword there.
Yes, thank you so much to author Don Billy for sending this to us. Exactly. And I love on page 6 here, he gave us a shout out to, Oz historians such as Ryan J., Tori Calamito, and others who know a lot about the topic. And so thank you. But this has been for great reading. And this is the kind of book that's so fantastic. Look it up. It's available now where books are sold. and it could be adapted to film. I think her life story deserves it, but it covers everything from, who she was and how when she was a school teacher and her incredible character work in Hollywood, becoming cast as the Wicked Witch of the West, and everything that she experienced on the film. So it's a really, really great book for all fans of The Wizard of Oz, 1939, Margaret Hamilton, and the rest. And this will look so cute next to your Margaret Hamilton doll.
Yes, it will. My portrait doll. I love her. Love baby Maggie.
Yes, so cute. So thank you again to Don. And everybody, we encourage you to check out this book. Do you have any other new merch or other things that you want to share, show, and tell?
Well, let me tell you, the Oz Room is a disaster right now because it's currently under construction. But while we're talking about Margaret Hamilton, let's also give a shout out to Billy Burke. I got a first edition copy of With a Feather on My Nose, and it just so happens to be signed by the Good Witch herself.
Wow.
There she is.
That's amazing. Where did you find that?
Internet.
It's called the internet. Have you heard of it? Very good. That's amazing.
What's really interesting about this book is she doesn't talk about Oz until the end, and it gets 2 paragraphs. And that's it. The whole book is really about her stage career, and the Oz is kind of a footnote, but she does say about it that it was her favorite film and that it was the most like the roles she played on stage. So
that's really, really amazing.
And if I can give one more, because I got a bucket list. I got a bucket lister since the last time I saw you on Oz Talk.
Oh, no way!
The Toto 1939 hanger.
Can I have it? Can I have it? No. Can I touch it?
Yes, next time you come over.
There we go. Oh my God, I love it. I collect all things Toto, and that is so cute. Was that an internet find also?
That was an internet find. This was actually all thanks to Andrew from Ozcest, because he knew I was looking for one, and he spotted it first, and he's like, hey, guess what?
Do you have any others in the set?
No, not yet, but I can dream. A girl can dream.
Yes.
I really do hope to add more as time goes on, but you know how rare and expensive these are.
Yes, but that's an important one.
This is an important one, and it was in really good shape, so it seemed totally worth it. Totally worth it to me.
Totally worth it. I need to get a picture of that with my Toto. Oh, so cute. Well, I love it. Well, we need to do this again very soon because there's so much, I want to do the deep dive into Easter eggs and uncover as many as we can for the film. And also we have to start predicting for Wicked for Good.
I am so looking forward to this coming year. People have been saying, when are we going to get that first trailer? Last year we got it at the Super Bowl, but since Oz is so prominently featured this year at the Oscars, is it possible we'll see that first trailer drop during the Oscar ceremony?
We should.
Perhaps, maybe.
That's my desire. That's my heart's desire. Universal Pictures, if you're listening, that would be great, and that would just make for a spectacular Oscars. And how cool would it be if Wicked wins Best Picture this year and next year, 2 years back to back?
That would be magnificent.
Yeah, and it's what should happen.
It's what should happen. What will happen? Only time will tell.
Exactly. Let us know if you agree, Oz fans. Thank you so much for watching and joining us today. Please like, share, follow us both at the Oz Blog, at Ryan J Reviews. We're on social media, on YouTube, and the rest of it. And thank you so much, Tori. Until next time.
I love you, Ryan, and thank you everyone for tuning in.
Love you too. Bye-bye.